Get ready for the breaking news. A decade on, the Paquisamba village in the Brazilian Amazon is still fighting for justice. We dive deep into the ongoing human rights ruling awaiting the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights concerning the devastating impact of the Belo Monte hydroelectric complex. We explore how the disappearance of fish like white pacu and the shift from fishing to struggling farming have changed the lives of residents, and why this critical legal battle over the Volta Grande do Xingu River remains unresolved after years of struggle.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This ALEN 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we switch gears completely and jump into the world of cutting-edge artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. Learn 5 powerful ways that Cairo, an Amazon Q developer, are revolutionizing how security teams handle their posture. We'll show you how these tools are using persistent context to codify your organization's security standards, accelerating everything from threat triage to generating secure infrastructure automatically. But the stories don't stop there. We have a heartbreaking and urgent local tragedy unfolding right now. A child under 5 years old in Kansas City was tragically struck and killed by an Amazon delivery vehicle. We examine the investigation into this fatal crash and what this incident reveals about the challenges facing last-mile delivery operations in our communities. And finally, we look at the massive scale of e-commerce logistics. Amazon is ramping up production at its new Stewartville fulfillment center, preparing to handle thousands of packages daily. We break down how this $20 million facility is expanding its capacity and what this means for the local community and the future of Amazon's operations. Stay with us for the full story. A decade after the inauguration of the Belo Monte hydroelectric complex in the Brazilian Amazon, communities along the Volta Grande do Xingu continue to grapple with profound environmental and social devastation, with a crucial human rights ruling still pending before the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights. Before the plant opened in May 2016, the Paquisamba village sustained its livelihood through fishing, small-scale farming, and gathering along the river, relying on species like white pacu and catfish for sustenance and income. 10 years later, the ecological shift has been drastic. Residents report the disappearance of key fish species, reduced reproductive rates, and navigation difficulties, forcing a painful transition. As Alayat Paquisamba, a village leader, recounted, the community shifted from being fishers to struggling, unprofitable farmers, with many families forced to migrate to cities. This struggle is part of a long-standing legal battle. Thousands of indigenous peoples, traditional riverside communities, and artisanal fishers have petitioned the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights since 2011, seeking an assessment of Brazil's international responsibility for the harm caused by the project. Legal experts highlight systemic delays in the process. Daniel Cerqueira, a lawyer at the Due Process of Law Foundation, noted that the Belo Monte case is taking longer than the Commission's historical average, exacerbated by Brazil's political reactions and the restrictive nature of precautionary measures concerning indigenous peoples. He emphasized that while an international decision might not undo the physical damage, it holds significant prospective value, potentially establishing legal obligations for full reparations, environmental rehabilitation, and guarantees against future harm. The core of the dispute centers on the project's design, which diverts a significant portion of the Xingu River's flow through artificial canals for power generation, leaving the Volta Grande do Xingu with reduced flow. Community leaders stress the critical importance of respecting the Paquisamba, the seasonal period when fish migrate upstream to reproduce, arguing that without this ecological balance, no financial compensation can replace the loss of their way of life. Meanwhile, the concessionaire, Norte Energia, asserts that Belo Monte is vital to Brazil's energy system, generating substantial power. The company claims significant investments in social infrastructure and community projects. Adding further pressure to the situation, new threats are emerging. A Canadian gold mining project by Below Sun Mining Corp is planned for the Volta Grande do Xingu, raising fears that the region will face repeated violations. Leaders warn that the destruction caused by the hydroelectric dam now faces a second assault, demanding that the international system establish strict parameters for future projects, ensuring adequate consultation, impact assessment, and reparations for affected communities. Noi Dung Kai Tait. A recent security alert highlighting unauthorized access attempts, security group misconfigurations, and AWS identity and access management policy violations underscores the urgent need for security teams to accelerate response times. To address this, security teams are leveraging AI-assisted development tools, specifically Cairo and Amazon Q Developer, to automate repetitive tasks such as resource scanning, policy drafting, and common vulnerabilities and exposures, CVE, research, allowing engineers to concentrate on high-level risk decisions. \N, the Oz well-architected framework security pillar, provides a foundation for 5 key techniques utilizing Cairo and Amazon Q Developer to significantly strengthen the Oz security posture. These methods are designed to ensure security standards are consistently applied across the development lifecycle. \N, a crucial element enabling the power of these tools is providing them with persistent context. By codifying an organization's security standards, such as requirements for encryption, least privilege IAM settings, and logging, into steering files in Cairo or rules documents, AI assistants can generate infrastructure and policies that adhere to these specific organizational mandates automatically, eliminating the need to repeat requirements in every prompt. \N, this persistent context transforms AI output from non-deterministic suggestions into consistent, secure configurations. For example, a single prompt can generate a Lambda function complete with KMS encryption, CloudWatch logging, least privilege IAM, and VPC placement, rather than a basic function lacking these controls. \N, these AI-assisted workflows offer a significant shift-left impact. By embedding security validation directly into the development workflow, developers across the organization can generate compliant infrastructure from the start. This scales security expertise into development teams, enabling them to self-serve on compliance and reducing the volume of findings reaching automated pipeline checks, thereby positioning security as an enabler of faster development. \N, beyond infrastructure generation, Cairo and Amazon Q Developer can be used to enhance security operations in several ways. \N1. They can complement AWS Security Hub by using Model Context Protocols, MCPs, to correlate findings across accounts, understand CVE context, and accelerate security finding triage. This integration can reduce the mean time to triage critical findings from hours to minutes. \N, these tools can analyze infrastructure code, written in CloudFormation, Terraform, or AWS CDK, to identify security issues aligned with the well-architected framework security pillar, suggesting specific remediation steps. \N3, they facilitate the drafting and validation of service control policies, SCPs. Cairo can generate initial SCP drafts from natural language requirements, which can then be linted and tested using tools like IAM Policy Autopilot and the IAM Policy Simulator to ensure they do not inadvertently block legitimate operations. \N4, they support in-depth security architect reviews by assisting in keeping steering files current, ensuring the AI assistant operates with an up-to-date understanding of the environment. \N, finally, the tools can generate secure-by-default infrastructure by scanning code for violations against established security best practices, including encryption, public access blocks, and logging enablement. \N, it is vital to emphasize that AI-generated remediation suggestions must always be reviewed by qualified security engineers before implementation. as automated application without human validation risks introducing unintended misconfigurations. \n, the recommended approach is gradual. Start by codifying top security policies, measure the reduction in findings, and validate changes in non-production environments before rolling out to production. By starting small and establishing clear validation gates, organizations can build confidence and leverage these AI assistants to achieve faster threat response, more consistent security coverage, and allow security engineers to focus on complex risk judgment. Kansas City, Missouri. A fatal accident on Monday evening resulted in the death of a child under 5 years old after being struck by an Amazon delivery vehicle. The Kansas City Police Department is currently investigating the incident that occurred on May 4, 2026, in the 1800 block of East 3rd Terrace. Emergency services responded to a reported fatal crash around 6:25 p.m. The preliminary investigation indicates that a marked Amazon delivery vehicle had recently completed a delivery in the vicinity. Following the drop-off, the vehicle reportedly began traveling westbound on East 3rd Terrace toward Woodland Avenue. At the same time, a child under 5 was playing in a grassy area of a nearby public park. Police reports state that the child entered the roadway and was struck by the delivery vehicle. Upon arrival, the driver initially stopped at the scene, but subsequently left before officers arrived. A family member attempted to follow the vehicle to a later stop and provided details of the incident. However, the driver denied any involvement and departed the area. The child was pronounced dead at the scene due to the injuries sustained. The Kansas City Police Department continues its investigation into the circumstances surrounding the fatal collision. Stewartville, Minnesota. Amazon's new fulfillment center in Stewartville is rapidly becoming a major hub for e-commerce logistics, processing thousands of packages daily. Almost a year after acquiring 23 acres in the Schumann Business Park, the $20 million DX05 Last Mile facility officially opened on April 16. The center is currently handling 2,000 packages per day, with projections indicating this number could double to 4,000 by the end of the week as operations scale up. Senior Site Manager Brian Cummings confirmed the facility has the capacity to manage up to 50,000 packages daily. The 86,000-square-foot distribution center is a significant operation, employing 50 Amazon workers to prepare deliveries within a 50-mile radius. The logistics chain involves daily truck deliveries to the facility, where packages are scanned and sorted before being dispatched to local delivery vehicles. The system utilizes a fleet of 48 white, unmarked vans, and an additional 100 flex drivers using personal vehicles to complete the final delivery. Packages spend approximately 4 to 5 hours inside the center before reaching their destination. Stewartville Mayor Jimmy John King expressed enthusiasm for the investment, noting it is a positive step for the community. Jason Vangalis, Amazon's Economic Development Manager for Minnesota, detailed the criteria for selecting a site. He emphasized that the decision process prioritizes 3 key elements: a suitable location for construction, a strong local labor force, and crucial partnership and collaboration. Vangalis highlighted the success achieved through collaboration with both Stewartville and the state of Minnesota in establishing this new facility.